Peace, peace, peace. It's T.O. Clay Light Bulb Lessons. All we need is seven. We in the house. Hey, anytime y'all see me grinning, you already know what time it is. It's out of pure elation, pure happiness, pure gratefulness. And usually that's when I'm in the presence and company of some of the most amazing individuals that I know in this life to be. And today I got a very, very special guest. Some of you out there right now, I don't even need to introduce him because you know how he get down. You know who he is. You know what he means to me, my family, and so many others. Without further ado, I got my dog, my brother from another mother, my man Ray Rob, also known government name Mr. Ray Robinson. But hey, man, dog, welcome to the light bulb, bro. And it's a blessing to have you here. And before we dive into this, I just want to tell you personally, bro, thank you. I've been doing this for, going on 3 years now. And I was telling you earlier, Ray, that I've had the pleasure of sitting down and chopping it with some pretty dope people, amazing people that's done some great things in life, currently still doing great things. But man, for those out there listening, checking us out today on the light bulb, it's it's truly near and dear to me, man. Like there's a few cats on this planet that I can promise to God, tell you, I will lay my life down for. And this man right here is one of them. And I thank you, Ray, just for what you've been to me over the years, bro. I'm not trying to give some long, drawn out intro, but man, I have to give proper respect where it's due. And while I have breath in my lungs, Ray, to give you the flowers, man, that I know you deserve just for being the man that you've been in my life. So without further ado, you all, my man Ray Rob, what's happening, bro? What's up with you, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? That's the introduction, dog. Man, you man, whoa, man. Hey, it's all good, brother. All good, man. This is great, man. I watch your platform, man, and I was like, man, look at this. After the Marine Corps, man, life after the
Yeah.
Marine Corps, and man, you've been doing well. You've been doing well with it, man. I sit back as in admiration of what you do and how you going about doing it. Everybody you have on the podcast and them talking and conversation. Man, it's just great to watch, man. I'm serious. It's how the world is going on, and you see everybody got podcasts and something, but I'm like, man, my brother got a podcast, man.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
yeah, man, it's exciting. I like it, man. Hey, it's all good, brother.
Man, I
Thank
appreciate
you
that,
for
dog.
having me on, man, for putting me on your platform. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. You know how the saying goes, bro. If it's mine, it's yours, man. Like, and again, Ray, like you said, you've been checking us out, man, and you've been rocking with me behind the scenes, giving me pointers and Clay, think about this, maybe think about that, and sharpening that blade with me, man. And I truly appreciate it. But the base of this is leadership, bro.
Mhm.
And I always say, man, you go back and listen to any episode. I always say my goal is to bring on the best leaders that I personally know. And again, Ray, you're that, bro. Like 100%. It's fellas out there right now that's watching and they nodding north and south like, yeah, dog, Ray 100. Ray always held it down. Still holding it down. And from that leadership aspect, man, it really means a lot. So we could spend a whole hour just praising one another and showing love. And if there's anybody out there that can take something from that, hey, good on you, bro. Because there's some people in life, man, that I truly believe, man, God sends to you, and God sent you to me, bro. We work together. We won't go through the long laundry list of, how we came to know one another. We just keep it simple. Hey, we were training the world's finest together, and I don't look at it who was there first or who had more experience. None of that, bro. Because the first time I saw you operate as a leader in that capacity, for some of you that don't know, Paris Island, South Carolina, as a Marine drill instructor, I admit, man, I remember just saying, yo, that cat right there is a natural. Just the way you look, your mannerisms, how you conduct yourself. Um, I always say, yeah, man, that cat right there, bro. Like, I just felt that India Company pride, right? If anything else, just man, we keep getting these rock stars out of drill instructor school that's coming to work with us for the next 3 years. So uh, just having that opportunity, man, to work with you, for the time that I did, I can honestly say as a leader, man, I knew, I was amongst greatness. So again, fast forward 2025, here we sit, bro. So I guess that's the first thing, to build on that I'd like to ask you about, man, just in your own words, overall leadership wise, what does leadership mean to you, Ray?
What does leadership mean to me? Leadership is to me it's a kind of a big issue in the sense of it's not just one thing. It's not this, but leadership. I've seen it in all different shapes and forms or whatnot. I believe you have effective leadership, and I think you have non-effective leadership. But what it means to me is to be well-rounded
Mm,
in all aspects, of life and of leadership and leading those persons, whether it be your kids, whether it be for us in our past lives was Marines, and now we're going forward. And actually, I find myself, just leading like men, just being around, and they coming to you for information. So it means to me to be as well-rounded as you can be, and as effective as you can be at all times and in all situations. So,
right, right.
but again, it's more than just hey, I'm a leader and I could get out there. It's a whole big bundle of things, and you just
Hmm.
have to know how to shape it and mold it yourself to be that. You
Yeah,
know.
bro. That's it, man. That's spot on, dog. Like, that's what I love, man. I always ask that question, Ray. So I ain't just, tossing you on the hot seat, but I love asking that question because when I look across this screen and I look you in the eyes, bro, I know the leader that you are. I know that, yo, you molded it, you shaped it, you were passionate, you didn't always have the answers, but rest assured that you was gonna go forward in the pursuit to complete whatever mission that was laid in front of you. If that's looking out for the young ones behind you, if that's holding the ones above you accountable, if that's putting your arms around the ones adjacent to you and saying, "Come on, bro, we got to get this done. We got to do this," or "Hey, we got to speak our piece and voice our opinions, man, if we expect things to move forward in the right trajectory." I've seen you do that, and I think that's one of my problems, Ray. And you hit on it, bro. That I hear a lot of people talk leadership, and there's a lot of definitions, and like you said, very wide range. But again, man, to have the blessing, shout out to my mama because I know she watches these, bro. And my mom met you. She looked you in the face, talked to you. You was here in 2021. Uh, I know she watches this, man, and I told my mom I love doing this, mama, because I experienced it, mama. I've been around some of the greatest men that God has ever placed on this planet, and again, you're one of those, man. And I really want the world to know that. I want our fellow Marines to know that, hey, man, the leadership that you know we put on that battlefield, that leadership we put in the shops that we worked in the convoys that we were on, man, it was purposeful. And just because we're retired, Ray, doesn't mean that ends. um who influenced you leadership wise as a young kid, Ray? Who's that one person you could think of right now that really influenced you from a leadership perspective growing up?
Growing up, I would say the people that influenced me was mostly my father, in a sense of my dad was a big guy. He was, 6'6".
Yeah, we could
180.
all probably expect that. Look at yourself, bro. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
So yeah, he was. I literally watched my dad. Like seriously, we had to pull. We had a tree that they wanted down in the yard, in the backyard, and I watched my daddy pull. He said I could pull that tree down, and I was looking like, man, you can't pull that tree. Now this wasn't like a big oak tree, but it was a pretty nice sized tree.
Right.
And the neighbor was like, well, I can go get a rope. And my dad was like, yeah, go get that rope. I'm gonna pull this tree down. And And I'm like, man, there's no way he gonna pull it down. And all the kids, everybody like coming around, and man, he pulled the tree down, and it wasn't like it was rotten. It wasn't rotting out or anything like that. And he pulled, so I was like, everybody like, man, your dad,
Yeah,
he bad, I was
right.
like, yeah. And unfortunately, we were like one of the only. Well, it was a couple guys with their fathers, but it was a very few throughout the neighborhood that had fathers. So to see my dad do that was he was up on the pedestal. Now, of course, you want to listen to him, follow everything and whatnot. And so I say my dad and a few other community leaders here and there, whether they be police officers, a couple coaches or whatnot. We had coaches, Coach House. Man, this guy didn't play. He didn't play T.O., man. He
Was he a football coach or something?
football coach, man.
Okay.
Hands on, man. I'm talking about,
Ooh.
man, he'll slap your helmet, boy. That helmet will spin around, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, he didn't play. However, I like that he was like that. So I always appreciated somebody who was real firm and like you don't want to play with him.
Right.
And so he was like that, man. And you didn't want to play with Coach House, and your parents didn't want to play with Coach House. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he didn't mind telling your parents where they could go.
So do you think, Ray, though, that kind of shaped your style moving forward as a leader? Just like you said, the coach, your pops, different other people in the community. Did you see them in some of the situations in which you led, if that makes sense?
Yeah, especially like Coach House, being he was very aggressive. So
Right.
very hands on. Most of the time when he walking up to you, he gonna grab you.
Yeah.
He's gonna like, hey, come here, and he
Yeah.
gonna look you eye to eye, and he gonna be like, nah, I don't know who you think. This, and he didn't care who you was. So you had guys in the hood that was like, yo, man, I don't play with Coach House, man. Don't. Yeah, he go.
Let me ask you this though, Ray. Was the results there? Looking back, his style of leadership, did it produce results?
Oh,
Did the
100%.
teams, in what kind of way? What kind of ways would you say it produced results though?
What the
Because
result?
there's people, Ray.
He was.
Let me say this, Ray. There's people that believe that type of leadership is horrible. There's people that believe that, still to this day, like, nah, you're not getting up in my face. Nah, you're not gonna cuss at me. So I just for the listeners, for me, for all of us, did you see results from his type of leadership?
Yes. Well, you got to think. When Coach House said something, everybody did it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if he said, "Hey, everybody get to the right side of the room," nobody was gonna. They was gonna move fast in an expedient manner and get to that
Yeah.
right side of that room.
Right.
Whereas, let's say a teacher will come out, Miss Bell, say, "Hey, I need everybody to get to the left side of the room." It's gonna take them 3-5 minutes just for everybody to lollygag. Now she may look at that from a leadership standpoint and say, "Hey, I got it done."
Hmm.
They all moved. It took them a while, but hey, I got it done. So I didn't have to be aggressive.
Right.
To me, that's not, you're not effective. I just look at it from a not because what's the mission? First of all, you got to understand what's the mission. I want them all to the right side of the room. Do we have time restraints, constraints, or whatever? No, okay,
Hmm.
get over here to the right side of the room. Hurry up. Get over there. Boom, sit down, and we're done. And I think as grown-ups, as leaders or whatever, we don't expect you to. Nobody expects you to move that slow and do it when you get ready. We would expect you to do it fast. So I
That's
would
right.
say that he was effective in the manner of whatever he asked everyone to do or told everyone to do, they did it, and they did it in a fast, expedient manner. So in leadership, you have to be able to convey what you want and how you want it done. And him being intense, you wanted to get it done faster anyway, just so
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
wouldn't. Man, I don't want to say nothing to me, so let me hurry up and get over here.
Yes,
Whereas
sir.
Miss Bell is like, oh man, what up, man? Why
Yeah.
do we have to go to the left side? Coach House just put us over here. So you see,
Right.
it comes with a whole lot of that. But with him. So I
So
would say that that's effective because what he's asking to do, you're doing it. You're getting it done. So that's effective. It's not as effective if people are taking their time. So
that's right. So Ray, you from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Shout out to Lake Charles.
yes,
I
sir.
know I
Born and
know
raised
you
LC, baby.
that's right. I know you're currently in New Orleans right now. Been living down there for some years, but Lake Charles, Louisiana is home. If you go back to Lake Charles this weekend and you breeze through around the way, where you grew up, brothers that you've known since coming out the womb, and y'all standing on the corner, and Coach House name come up. Will it be the same sentiment amongst all the brothers in terms of how they feel about his style of leadership? Basically, is his name legendary around those parts?
Oh yeah, if you came up in Gosport, which I grew up in Gosport, which
Okay,
is north. You have what they call North Lake Charles. That's the
okay,
yeah, the north part of Lake Charles. So you basically had like North Lake Charles, South Lake Charles, and then you had what they call like Mid City. And
okay.
so yeah, I grew up on the north end of town. So
Right.
if you're from the north end of town, and his name comes up when people, who the hardest coaches in Lake, his name is always coming up. Coach
Yes,
House, which I
sir.
know Joe House. So his name was
Yeah.
Joe House, and he unfortunately passed away from cancer years back. Crazy too, man, because he found out that he had cancer and pretty much died the next day. That was like crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So went to the hospital after complaining about having neck pains quite often or whatnot. And my dad actually was like, "Hey, man, you need to go get that checked out." He's like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "Nah, go get it checked out, like for real." And he ended up going to the hospital, and it was like, "Yo, like you're lucky to be here now," And he stayed in the hospital, I guess, and he ended up passing away. But he was a great guy. Didn't play no nonsense, man.
Right.
Funny, and didn't back down from anybody. And yes, people know who Coach House is. Yeah, Joe
That's
House.
dope. Shout out to Joe House, man. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing those type of stories because it's always that one. It's always that one. And a lot of times that one is that no nonsense one. Let's
Mhm.
be 100. There's people out there right now that's talking about this gentleman I know named Ray Robinson. Right now, they like, yo, hey, Gunny Ray Rob didn't play around. Stasson Robinson, June Shirley, Stasson Robinson, Sergeant Robinson, Corporal Robinson, all the way down. Recruit Robinson. I guarantee you there's somebody you went to boot camp with that's like, yo, the one only other cat I remember in my platoon is a cat named Robinson. And again, so leadership, man, it's infectious, Ray.
Mhm.
You helped me to be a better leader, bro. Like, and that's just being 100, dog. Like, you helped me to be a better leader, dog. I saw you operate. I saw you in the trench. I saw you, you know, do things that, man, you just can't teach, bro. It's like you see that cat out on the football field, the basketball court. It's just certain qualities that leaders have that you just can't teach, and you have that, man. And it's just great to hear, man. You talk about your pops. It's great to hear you talk about, the coaches and the influences. Once you got on over into the Marine Corps, that first iteration, I would say that first enlistment, who was some of the leaders that influenced you coming into the Marine Corps, right?
One, believe it or not, was my recruiter coming
Okay.
coming in the Marine Corps, Forrester Goodrich. He and I are still good friends. I look up to him. He's like a brother to me, like a big brother. Uh,
Right.
but he always kept it real with me. He always was on me. Like he could actually say something to me and it could actually affect me. Whereas other people, you could say whatever you want to me. I don't. But if he expressed that he was disappointed in me or this and that,
Mm.
it hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I didn't want to, because he really helped me out a whole lot. You know, so I looked at him. Of course, I would always go to him for advice, and man, he would come and visit me. North Carolina, South Carolina. He would
Yeah.
visit me, man, and check on me and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow. You talking as you was going through the schools, he was coming and checking on you?
Yeah, like
Oh,
when I
when you
would
was
get
at the
stationed.
station.
Yeah, when I would
Okay.
get stationed, but I got stationed off. When I picked up sergeant, he was like, "Man, I don't believe you picked up." So he from he a New York guy from born
Yeah,
and raised,
yeah, yeah.
I think the
Okay.
Bronx, New York. And but he was like, "Yeah, I don't believe you picked up no sergeant. They let you pick up sergeant. Man, I'll be up there in a week. I'm gonna go see. I gotta go see this." You know, so because he knows I was rough around the edges. I was real, hey, I was rough around the edges. I just keep it at that. So
Yeah.
he always came and check up on me, and see how I was doing and stuff, and always gave me advice. Uh, my first duty station, we had Daryl Pinckney. He ended up being a master gunnery sergeant. He was a staff sergeant at the time. And again, guys, they were off the drill field. Master Prayer, Gregory Prayer, but he was a staff sergeant at that time as well. Those were my mentors. I had my one of my big brother, Adrian Finley. He was a sergeant, man, first dude to ever like put his hands on me.
Okay.
Like I'm not listening, I'm talking back. And that joker just wow.
Yes,
I got a
sir.
Facebook picture of us. We were in the motor pool or whatever, and he was a bigger guy. I was at that time. I was small, trying to get my weight back up from boot camp.
Yeah.
But, that guy there, he wasn't that type. I just got on his nerve, and he wasn't that necessarily hands on, but he'd tell you like, hey, if you want me to go there, I'll go there. So I was like, yeah, well,
Right.
you gonna have to go there then, because
Yes, sir.
I don't believe you had that in you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, yeah, he caved my chest in, man, made my shoulders touch almost.
Ooh, wee.
But those guys, they were my first leaders, like my building blocks, I would say, in the Marine Corps. Uh, like I said, Daryl Pinckney, he was a firm guy. You just knew, real nice, cool, joke around, but he could just kind of like give you that look, like what was that? And you're like, oh
Yeah.
no, staff sergeant, my bad, no. Oh, and my boy, Woodbury.
Hmm.
Woodbury. So this guy here, man, I couldn't believe he was a drill sergeant because he just was too big. He looked, you know how Marine, we struggle with our weight or whatever, right?
Right, right.
So Woodbury was just a big guy. You could tell. I was like, man, you couldn't have been no drill sergeant being that big. Like
Right. Right.
you a big dude. And but he joked around a lot in this. And I remember we ticked this guy off one day, man. He was a sergeant, and we ended up ticking him off, man. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna show y'all tomorrow for PT. I got something for y'all. So I'm laughing like, what is he gonna show us? You know what I mean? You
Right.
PT, like you're not gonna do nothing. You can't do nothing to us. Man, T.O., this dude ran us. I didn't know he ran marathons, man.
Ooh, wee. Come on now.
Man, bro, when I tell you, I was like, oh my God, where is he going, man? We Okinawa, but he found places to run.
Oh man. Okie.
And then he just kept saying, no, get up here, Robinson. Get up here, get up here. So I'm the big mouth, I'm the loud mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, trying to keep it. He kept a pace, man, that it was heart busting, man. I started to know, like, man, I gotta evaluate people a lot different now. Like this dude
Right.
was a killer in PT, man. Abs,
Hmm.
he was just a big guy, so right then I knew that I wanted to be that way.
That's right.
I knew that I was like, man, I came in the Marine Corps big guy. I knew I was gonna be big again. I lost a lot of weight in boot camp.
Right.
People don't realize, I kid you not, man. I went to boot camp 254 pounds.
Golly.
I graduated 174 pounds. So I tell you,
Golly.
my parents walked right past me at the
Oh,
airport, man.
yes, sir. They didn't
Yeah,
know who you was. I know your
yeah,
mama. Where my baby at? Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And my mom cried. She just like, oh my God, what happened? Like, what happened to
Yeah.
you? Man, I was slim and trim, man. Everybody was like, man, what they do to you? And a couple guys that was joining the Marine Corps was like, man, I'm not going to the Marine Corps, man. If they do me
That's
like
it.
that, I'm not joining the Marine Corps,
They
man.
starving my family down there. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So but I knew I was going to be bigger, getting back, and I said, man, I want to be that way. I want to be able to run people in the dirt. I want to be able to have that in my pocket. So if I have to, do it to Marines or teach them a lesson, I'll be able to have this in my pocket, so
That's right.
be able to
That's right.
stay in shape. I always kept a good run time, and he shaped me knowing that when he did that to me and put me on the spot the way that he did in front, like get up here. I was the only one he was on because he heard me like joking around, like, what are you gonna do? Like,
Right, right,
what can
right.
he do to us, And he was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna show you. And he just kept, get up here, right here. Right. And I'm like, I can't, man. Oh my God, I can't keep this pace. And yeah, that day showed me, man. I was like, okay, I gotta stay, I gotta hit the pavement, I gotta keep running. I would never let nobody do that to me again.
That's right.
So yeah.
Wow. I love it, man. I truly love it. And shout out to those individuals, man. I pray they see this, man. And, sometimes just hearing your name and understanding that you had an impact on someone that was successful. A lot of times, man, that really hits home and means something. So Woodbury and the other Marines that you shouted, yeah, man, big love to you all. Big respect to you all because, like you said, Ray, you knew you was able to extract from that. You knew each one of them different leaders. They're all different in their own way, but they tapped into you and transitioning, segueing into that, man. Um, I think about my cousin James Clay, bro. James Clay. I've known James Clay my whole life, bro. He's much older than me. Not by too much, but big cause I would say. Back in the days, he used to have a Beetle bug, the Volkswagen Beetle bug, and on the front of it, he had this silver trophy style bulldog, bowed up on front, and in the like I said, the Beetle was purple, bro, and I didn't understand it back then, but as I got older, I realized, man, every time I see my cars, most of the time he got on purple and gold, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I, I'm telling you, man, like, and I don't want any of my cousins out there ready to get mad at me, bro. But I'm saying that here we are, man. Light bulb lessons, it's in real time. Uh, January 21st, 2025, day after MLK Day, and I'm gonna say it, man. Like he's probably that one cousin that I looked up to, and I truly said, "Yo, man, I want to be like that cat, bro." It's just something about him. There's some aura about this cat, bro. Like always clean. Uh, when he would give me a pound and give me a hug, like yo, he would squeeze me, Ray. Like it was heartfelt, and that's something that simple. Just the way he shake my hand, give me a pound, pull me in, squeeze me tight. And over the years, I learned that man, he's a part of one of the greatest fraternities ever, and that fraternity is known as Omega Phi Psi. So
Oh man,
again,
see, old man, hey, go haze yourself, man. Go get in the corner and you owe me 100 push-ups, Clay. You owe me 100 push-ups, dog. You owe me. It's
man,
Omega Psi Phi, dog.
Omega Psi Phi. You're right. Omega Psi Phi. I said Omega Phi Psi. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Omega Psi Phi.
yes,
It's
indeed. That way.
Omega Psi Phi, bro. And I know you've taken that journey, bro. Do you believe, that journey itself plays into just, do you think it was something that was destined for you? Do you
Oh
feel
man,
like
100.
you were destined to walk that journey, bro?
I say 100%, man.
Hold, unzipping your jacket, bro.
Oh, I did.
Unzipping your.
I showed you, baby.
Okay. I didn't see. Okay, all right, we good.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yes, yes, sir. I'm always have something on representing. You know what I'm saying? My fraternity or whatnot. And
Yeah, man.
this goes back. Unfortunately, being an Omega, being a bros or whatnot, as we say.
Right.
We are, as you, I guess you. I don't like to draw the connection, but unfortunately, it is. We kind of like the Marines of the fraternities. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
when I grew up, they used to have like Greek show weekend and all of that stuff. That's when all the fraternities, the sororities,
Oh,
they come in, they're gonna have step shows. It's gonna be a whole weekend filled of, just fun and everybody pretty much partying, you know what I'm saying?
that's right. That's
And
right.
but we always knew when we would go to like the Q parties, my whole thing, I wanted to go because I knew they was gonna fight.
Ooh, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I
sir.
knew I'm like, man, they gonna fight, man. I want to see it. I just want to be there to see. And of course, they never disappointed.
Right.
And so that made me want to be unfortunately, it made me, I was like, man, if I ever got the chance to, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. And
Mm,
at the time, he was like a big brother to me, Drake, last name Drake, Fernando Drake. And he was a capper. And I used to hang around him all the time. Like he like
right.
a big brother to me, going to his apartment, going around all the other cappers. And they'd be like, "Oh, you gonna play as Snoop one day?" I was like, "Man, no, man. The Qs be beating y'all up all the time, man. And,
No
and I
doubt.
thought that they had this Q, man, and he called himself the Capper Slapper. And I
Is
was
that
like,
right?
"What?" I said, "Man, why they call you that, man?" He said, "That's what I do. I slap them cappers. I was like, oh man, that's crazy." So I
Yeah.
always say, nah, man, I would play as Q, man, if I ever got a chance to do it. And I honestly never saw myself doing it because, of course, that you had to go to college. So I was like, oh man,
Right. Right.
I'm having a hard enough time getting through high school here, buddy. So
Indeed.
I can't see that. And years down the road, I'm at the end of the Marine Corps career. I'm done. I've retired. And I say, hey, what am I going to do? I know I
Right.
don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to go. What am I going to do? And some good friends of mine, mentors, I call them mentors. They also like I look at them like my big brothers.
Right.
They're both judges out here, actually judges, and they said, well, you ever thought about going to school? You're not going to go to college? I was like,
Yeah.
man, I ain't been to college. I have been in school for 20 years, man. No, I couldn't do it. They said, I think you should give it a try. And they actually told me about, I never knew what HBCU was. So
Mm,
because I never saw myself going to college or being in college. So they told me they was like, I think you should try an HBCU. I was like, well, I've heard of that, but what does it mean?
right.
And so they told me, gave me all that. I was like, okay. Which is why I ended up going to the Southern campus here in New Orleans. They call it Southern University in New Orleans here. So
Okay.
while I was there, and they're accused as well. So I would always hang around. And I said, well, look, I'm in school, man. Would I be able to play it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you could do it. I'm like, whoa, really? And then that's it, man. I knew I had to do it, man. I was like, it wasn't the easiest thing to get in. And
Right.
I think that was the hardest thing for me was actually getting in because I actively sought to get in for 3 years. So
Wow.
yeah,
I've always heard, Ray. I mean, I know it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real. And I'll leave it at that, man. And shout out to all the bros out there, man. And it's a respect, bro. Like it's a respect, bro. It's just no other way to see it. The same way we look at the service. Let's be 100, Ray.
yeah,
You and I are proud to say anywhere we go in the world that we were United States Marines. It speaks for itself, just like any other Marine out there. Whether you was, you know, top dog, whether you was, in the Marine Corps for 4 years, it don't matter. Marine's a Marine. And I see that same vibe when I look at, the fraternities, bro. Like if I'm going to go that route, it's only one route I could go. And that's why I wanted to ask you that specific. Like, man, all the cats that I know that are Omega, are they real cats, bro? From James Clay, like I said, big card. Shout out to James, to Fernando Black Stevenson. Shout out to Stevenson, our brother. Um, it's so many cats that I know. Shout out to Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Like it's Omegas everywhere, bro.
yeah,
And y'all possess that same aura, and I love it, dog. These days I sit and just look at YouTube and seeing the cat step, like you said, man, it's powerful, bro. It's real. So much respect on that, bro. But I say that just based on you can see that alignment, bro, with specific cats, man, and just keep raising that bar. And for you to say, man, you wasn't even like college wasn't your thing, you know what I'm saying? But you went and you accomplished it, dog. You went and did it. You know, you're a strong minded individual, bro, and I respect you for that and appreciate you for that, man. Um, today's episode, man, you know, I want to dedicate it to a couple people, man, that you know I feel like seeing this today, seeing me and my brother coming together, man, just vibing. It's organic. It's not scripted. I don't have a bunch of questions on paper over here or on some chalkboard up in here, man. This is how we chop. You know, it may be a little bit more rated R when we be chopping offline, but you know, we're gonna keep it professional out there because we know there's young bucks out there watching too, and them young bucks is looking for that mentorship and that leadership, real cats that they can just sit back, vibe to, riding to go see their girl or whatever. They could listen to this and understand that, yo, yeah, they old heads, but they know what time it is. So definitely want to dedicate this to my man Woody Wood. Shout out to Woody Wood, and I'd also like to dedicate it to my half brother JJ Clay, man, Jeffrey Clay down there in New Orleans. Shout out to y'all fellas, man. I love y'all cats. And anytime y'all ready to come on and build, hey, reach out, man. Let me know, man, because again, man, I know what you all stand for and also know what you mean to my brother. So uh today's episode is also, man, being sponsored by Aware Brand. It's been 100, man. This bucket I got on, this knit bucket. Shout out to my man Drew Sanders, who also graduated from an HBCU. He graduated out of Tuskegee down in Alabama.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, and woke up one day and said, yo, I'm gonna create my own brand. And always had, you know, a knack in his heart for having a brand, and his brand is called the Aware brand. The Aware brand. Check him out online. Like I say, he got some dope pieces, jackets, hats, shirts, hoodies. He's got all of that. And a lot of his gear is also in Foot Lockers all up and down the East Coast, out Midwest. So shout out to Drew. But yeah, Ray, man, you know, we're about a little bit over half an hour in. And man, truth be told, you know, we've talked about some of your upbringing, man. You know, we've talked about, you know, some of the mentors you've had along the way. We've also talked about, you know, taking that journey, you know, to become what was already destined in you, and that's a bruh, Omega, Q Dog, you know, something that I think the people out there that actually know you, that will hear this and will see this, something they would want to hear come out of your mouth. Within my spirit, I'd like to ask you, and it's real simple, man. How did you deal with the transition from 20 years in the Marine Corps, you know, to just waking up the next day and realizing that you were out? You know, how have you dealt with the transition since you've retired, Ray?
Let's see. I've been it's 9 years, I think, this year. This year makes 9 years I've been retired. Uh, I'm not going to say that. I guess that first year or so, I was trying to figure it out. I was in school, so I was busy. So that was good. However, nobody around me knew, could understand, my mind frame as being a Marine doing 20 years, being
Hmm.
a Marine Corps drill instructor, everything, combat veteran, all of that stuff. So that adjustment, I guess, having people around me was certain people around was I guess the hardest part maybe.
Right, right.
Uh, but dealing with it, what I did was I knew that I was a Marine, and that's what it through. No matter what you did, 20 years, so that's who you are through and through, and a
Indeed.
lot of that stuff it'll never leave you. So what I made sure that I did was I surrounded myself around my fellow Marines that are here, like in the local area and stuff. So
Hmm.
and shout out to that group or whatnot.
Right, right.
It, yeah, it's a whole big group me group with about 25, 30 Marines, all
Wow.
senior enlisted. Matter of fact, there's one guy. He's the only unretired one. He's not retired, so I give him a hard time being in a
Right.
group or whatnot. But we all actually, man, come together, and that's my group. So I have several groups of people that I hang around. But I think what helped me transition most was just being around my circle of people that truly understood myself, me, and I didn't feel alone in any room. I didn't.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, so we just got together this Saturday. We get together every quarter and celebrate everybody's, who had a birthday within that quarter, and we celebrate, everybody get them a bottle of their favorite bottle of liquor. They get their own
So,
personal cake, and we have a big barbecue. I cook the food and stuff. Masson Azimer King is the head guy. He started kind of bunched us all together. Hey, let's all get together. Let's do this. Let's go out to eat. Let's go out, and
yeah, man.
it turned out to be, a big group. And I've been with them, we go smoke cigars and just take that time. So that helped me transition and into just now it's just like everyday life. I'm like, okay, hey, this ain't so bad. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I hear Marines that have, unfortunately taken their own lives or whatnot.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
when I call back and start talking, um, to friends and family members and stuff like, hey, what happened? What was going on with them? Did you see that coming? Or a lot of times they kind of like isolate themselves or they don't have any Marine friends. They just kind of, may talk to a few of them on the phone here and there, but there's nobody close to you where you can actually get that friendship, that brotherhood. There were two female, I'm not sure what they rank were. I know they were staff and SEALs that was at the previous cookout this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They were, they're about to retire. And I told them, I say, stay around, your Marine group. Don't stray too far from, the pack. You know what I'm saying?
That's
'Cause you're
right.
gonna feel alone on that island. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna feel like you
Yeah.
have to deal with everything yourself because you're gonna have to deal with that.
That's right.
Uh, you're gonna have to deal with the men like everything is slower now. Marine
Yeah.
Corps was, boom, boom, on the tempo. You always, this. You had leaders that would be on, you had somebody hold you accountable and things like that. But now, you know, you're out there on your own. So that helped me transition, man. Being around that pack of Marines and never leaving, totally what I would fall away from what I am and who I am.
Yeah, man. Beautiful answer, bro. Yeah, it's just being real, man, because we both know, Ray. We know a lot of individuals across the bow, as we would say, and man, that transition, man, can be lonely, bro. Like, let's be 100.
Yeah.
It can be extremely lonely, man. And just to hear that, you all down in New Orleans are still keeping that camaraderie, as we would call it, getting together, barbecuing, hanging out together, man. Whether y'all telling old war stories or current day, what's happening, and just being there to check on one another, man. That's special. And you said something very key, bro. That some of our listeners don't know about you, dog. And I will say it on record, bro. You're one of the greatest cooks that I know in my life. And shout out to my wife, Kizzy. Uh, Kizzy don't talk about people's food, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But when it come to you, Ray Robinson, I have physically heard her out of her own mouth say, "Yeah, Ray can cook." And we came down to New Orleans with the family, and man, you brought us in, bro, at your crib that you at now, your beautiful home, and dog, you had a spread for us, all we can eat type vibe. We was able to sit down at the table, man, break bread with you, man. That was a special moment, bro. So where does that love for cooking come from, dog? When did you realize you love to cook, bro?
I would say I come from a family of it, man. My mom was always cooking. My dad was a hell of a cook. Shout out to my papa. May rest in peace. He passed away last year, last January.
Yes, sir.
But yeah,
Rest
my
in
dad
peace.
was a hell of a cook, man. And what I admire most about him was, man, that dude would take out all of the leftovers in the refrigerator, everything. And this dude, he could. I'm like, man, we got to eat that, and you know, and he would mix all of this stuff up, man. Like make it like a hibachi or whatever, man. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is good. Like
It's
this,
good, bro. Yes,
bro, how
sir.
you do that? Like, man, that's pretty. So I would say actually my cooking style was more of his. My mom would say, no, he took all my recipes. And
Yeah.
I come from a family of cooks, man. I have 5 brothers, and man, they not all of them can cook, but for the most part, we all can cook. But I think
Yeah.
I'm the top
You think
dog.
you that top dog.
Yeah,
If
man. But I
brothers see
was,
this, hey, you said it when they see it. Shout out to your brothers. You're
yeah.
claiming right now you that top dog, Ray Rock.
Oh, absolutely. I think they know it too, man.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
yeah, they know it too. I say that, man. I'm competitive in what I do, but I've perfected my craft throughout the years, and I'm proud to say that Southern style cooking and stuff. Yeah, man.
yeah.
It's not too many of them going, come at barbecue and stuff like that. Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, I got
Dog,
that work. I got that work for you.
yes, sir. Is it true, Ray? And you probably know this more, and I gotta ask it. We come up in the era of no questions a dumb question type thing. People that's on the grill a lot for many years, Ray. Does it have something to do with them losing sight? That smoke. Have you ever heard that before?
I've never, no, I've never heard.
Yeah, bro. I know a gentleman that he been barbecuing for 60 years, bro, and he's blind now, and that's what people say. They say he lost his sight because he was always up under that smoke. Uh, I don't know if that's true or not, but man, what do you prefer, Ray? You prefer hickory, or do you prefer apple, or what's your favorite smoking wood?
My favorite is a mixture of hickory and apple.
Yeah,
So
so
a
you
mixture
mix
of
it up.
both hickory and apple, and I like oak as well. Oak.
Yeah.
So it's going to either be oak and apple or hickory and apple.
And what's your favorite meat to smoke, Ray? What's your favorite?
Oh man, actually, man, I brisket and pulled pork because they
Mm,
the ones that take a lot of time. Uh,
yeah,
and basically, man, it's not like pouring you up a cold one, pouring you up a nice drink, man, and just sitting back and just waiting waiting on the results or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
So
sir,
yeah,
man.
low and slow, and just let it do what it do, man. Just enjoy the time.
So you a low and slow 225 cat? You on that 225?
For brisket and pulled pork, yeah. Chicken and ribs, not so much. No,
Hey
a little bit,
man,
little bit.
Ray, I said I wasn't gonna bring it up, man, and I'm not. But we know a gentleman right now. Shout out, he's out there in Charleston, South Carolina, somewhere. On told me his chicken is the best. So we'll be on here 4 more hours, Ray. But I've had both. Shout out to my man James Jones, man. We love you, bro. Shout out to JV, love you. Hey, I've had James Jones chicken and it's good, bro. I've had your chicken and it's good, bro. And I think they're different. It tastes different. But I've had yours and it tastes different. But I'm not gonna get it started, bro, because I know how y'all cats. Hey, I know what you say. I know what he say. I enjoy both pieces of chicken. They're both good. But man,
Well,
dog, Ray, it's special, man.
well, it's funny that you say that because it just goes to show that it's true that you can give somebody, I can tell you, hey, here's a recipe for this,
Right.
but it's going to taste different because the recipe James Jones has is my recipe. This cat. so, so, so everything that he does, he say, "Hey, I make the best shit." Okay, if you say
Yes,
so,
sir.
but that's my recipe. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
And I gave it to Jones. Jones asked me a while back, man. We were in Okinawa together, and You know, that guy, he was like, I would cook the chicken, and everybody was like, "Yo, man, what you put on this chicken, man? How you make it taste?" So Jones, at the time, he wasn't really into cooking like that. You know, like Tom,
Right,
he was really into cooking. And later on, I think he was a warrant officer, maybe when he really started cooking, getting on the grill and doing those things. And he was like, "Man, I gotta ask you, man. Like, can you give me your recipe, dog?" I say, James Jones, I say, you my brother. I say, now listen, I've never given this to anybody. So
right.
but I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna I give you the recipe, dog. I say, but and you're gonna use these seeds, you have to do it in the same sequential order that I tell you to. Because I don't
That's
make
right.
a rub, I actually do it one at a time. So
Mm,
he does it. Oh, I got it, man. Everybody love it. Everybody love, we'll do
yeah.
all this stuff. And then James Jones sold me out and gave my recipe away, dog. He give my recipe to one of his lieutenant at that, a young lieutenant. I say,
Oh
yo, Jones.
man.
I say, yo, Jones. I was mad, man. I said, yo, Jones. It's only one thing you got to do, bro. It's only one way you can fix this. He say, what? What I need? What? I said, you got to take that dude out, man. You got to take him out.
Yeah.
He was like, Ray, man, now this, you getting out, you going way too far with this, man.
Right.
He like,
Right.
it's just a recipe. Is it, so we went through that whole thing. I had fun messing with him, man. So I
Yeah.
told him I had to doctor up my recipe and change it up a little bit. But that's my dog. That's my brother, man.
Yes,
So
sir, man. That's family
I
right
love
there.
James. But I like to
That's
mess
right.
with him. I like to mess with him and tell him, man, you gave my recipe away, man.
Oh yeah. That's right. And James Jones ain't gonna never back down, bro. He's
Right.
never gonna say that your chicken's better than his chicken. 100%. And like I say, bro, I just love, man. I love the vibe, man, when all of us as brothers get together, man, and just being ourselves, bro. Shout out to all our brothers, man. India Company, Farm Wide, cats from other battalions. It's so many cats that we know, Ray, and it's been a pleasure, man, over the years. And I watch you, bro, and you sent me that picture, man, with LeBron James and good old AD Anthony Davis, bro. That shut it down for me, dog. I say, yo, man, my dog down in New Orleans doing it, bro. And not because of the status of those guys per se, because I know the individual that you are, and greatness attracts greatness, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not in that atmosphere with greatness of individuals, that those gentlemen are, and that the world knows that they are. If you're not great, and bringing that to the table, so big shout out to you on that, man. And again, Ray Dog, like we could talk all day, bro. Like I said, man, it's so many different things, man, that when I think of you, man, it just always brings a smile to my face, bro. And Mario Fields, man, shout out to old retired Sergeant Major Mario Fields, uh, Unarmored podcast, man. Check it out. He's got a good podcast, bringing on a lot of Marines, speaking positive about a lot of different things. And he said to me, man, he said, T.O., one thing I noticed about you, man, you love giving praise to others. And I do, right? And when I think of you, bro, like I said, man, I've said it a few times throughout that, man, I love you to death, dog. Like it's only one Ray Rob, bro. It's only one, and I watch life. And when Eddie Murphy and Martin land in the bed, separate beds. They ain't in the bed together, but separate beds, and they just talking back and forth, yin yang to each other, man. I always think about you, and like I say, man, just when we all get together, it's always fun involved, and I'm just happy to see you, having that extension and bringing that same love, light, and energy to the different communities in which you're around, man. And New Orleans, shout out to New Orleans, seeing that tragedy down there, around the first of the year, man, it's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I know, every time I think about New Orleans, I know if I'm passing through, if my wife passing through, my mama, my daddy, family, whoever it may be, they got somebody on deck down there that I know can be counted upon, and that's you, bro. So
Oh, yeah,
I
definitely,
love you.
man.
I love you, man. I love you sincerely, and like I say, man, and I don't want this to be the last, right? You know what I'm saying? It's so many different angles we could go in, and and be pinpoint specific to help, individuals out there, man. It's just looking for that leadership, bro. Looking for that leadership. A lot of people don't have, attention spans that draws that range of being able to sit and listen to someone chop or talk, but there's a plethora of people that do. And you've given some great value today, man, and stopping by the light bulb, man. I really appreciate you, dog. So with that,
Hey,
any
hey,
parting words?
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
real quick. I want to give you your flowers, dog, because as I tell people, T.O. Clay saved my career, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yes, sir.
20 years strong in the Marine Corps because T.O. Clay stopped me in a sense of, I had my mind set. Usually when my mind is set on something, I'm
Right,
going through with it. I didn't thought about all of the everything that the after effects of it and all that, and I'm willing to accept it. So I'm going forward with what I want to go through. And
yeah, man.
I'll tell a quick story. I don't mind, but
Yeah, man.
being that young brand new drugstore on Paris Island, third hat or whatever, you want you're being told you're never doing nothing right. A third hat don't ever do nothing right. You never There's
Hmm.
nothing you can do, right. So
It's true, dog. So true.
yeah, so when you come in, DI school, okay, cool. It was what it is, and was what it was. It was challenging. It had a challenge, but to me, I knew I could get through it, so no big deal. Uh, but coming from the fleet, Marine, I was a pretty good Marine. Stood out amongst my peers and all of that stuff. So now you get to Paris Island, man, and you're nothing, and
That's
that's a
it.
big pill. That's a big pill to swallow. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And at the time, I was 9 years in, and
Mm.
so I'm like, man, I can do this. I can manage recruits. I can do this. So, but then you hear you're not doing so well. You're not doing your team is telling you
Yeah.
basically, oh, you're sucking at this, John Sutter. You suck, John Sutter, you're not doing this. John Sutter, you're not John Sutter. So now, the ray is about to come out. I'm trying to be as professional as I can be, but Ray is about to take over. I'm trying to be
Right.
Stafford Robinson, but Ray is about to take over. And
Mm-mm-mm.
that night, the night prior, I was ticked off. I left work ticked off. So had to be in that lights, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm about to show them, who I am. And unfortunately, it's going to be taken out on like recruits or whatever.
Yes.
You're going to be a drone search. So I had it in my mind that I'm about to do something that probably is going to be detrimental to my career.
Right.
And I had made a decision. I'm like, oh, well, it is what it is, And I came there that day like focused, laser focused, like, yeah, this is the day right here. Here it is. So I'm going in, and I hear, hey, drone shutter. I look, hey, you got a stogie?
That's right.
I say, I said, yeah, drone shutter. So boom, I give you one. All right, I holler, hey, no, come here, man. Let me talk to you. I was like, hey, man, I gotta be in. Hey, don't worry about it. And you said this, man, and I was like, okay. So you say, just tell them I had you here. Tell them damn Sean Clay had you out here talking to you. You're good.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about it. So I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
well, if you say so, that's on you. So I'm gonna tell you the draw to stop me and kept me out.
That's right. That's right.
So I stood out there. He was like, yeah, go on, light one up with me, and then we smoked. And you said, dog, I gotta tell you, man. He was like, man, you were kicking it, dog.
For real, bro.
So I look, I'm like, yeah, right, man. Man, you crazy? I got these dudes in here too. You was like, no, dog, I don't care what they say. Ain't no tool strutter here, dog. You are kicking it, dog. Like I watch you,
Right.
I'm watching you, and I'm like, so at the time I'm thinking like, wait a minute, dog. This is one of the best hats in the company, dog. And I know that. I knew that before I got, oh, you going over there with Clay and them. Oh, yeah, man, you better get ready, dog. Them boys. So you were, of course, if you don't know, he was you were senior to be there. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Uh, so I'm like, and actually, this was sergeant, the staff sergeant. I didn't put no staff sergeant. You was a sergeant at that time.
That's right. That's true,
Yeah,
dog. That's
yeah. And
true.
I was like, man,
It's true.
this is one of the best drill starters in this company, bro. What is he talking about? So he was like, I'm telling you, dog. Like I didn't see hats come through this company, dog, and ain't none of
Facts.
doing it like you, bro. Like, man, you like, bro, you natural at this. This is easy for you, and so it seems. It's like,
Absolutely.
and you was like, man, just keep doing what you're doing, drill starter, man. And dang, bro, like, you know, and that changed my whole perspective. Then I was like, so maybe they supposed to just be on me like this. I don't know, but it stopped me from going to do what I was going. It totally extinguished everything that I had, mentally that I was said that I was going to go and do. And I
Wow.
got it like when I got in that duty hut, man, I was kind of like I had to take a breath, man. I was just like, like man, and I was like, man, thank God. Man, thank God for that conversation, bro. Because I was about to lose my career. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really about to come here and do something stupid.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, man, that dude saved my career, dog. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow,
Wow.
bro. And man, I always say when your name come up, I'm like, boy, yeah, T.O. saved my career, man.
Man.
T.O. he saved my career. So shout out to you, big dog. I love you
Yeah,
always for that, man. Yeah, straight up, bro. You really
that's
you
real.
talk me off that, ledge,
Mm,
in a
that's
sense.
real, bro. But it was truth, Ray. That's the light bulb lesson, man. And perfect way to close this out, man, for this iteration. Because again, man, we're gonna come back and build again, bro. Trust me, man. Like it was the truth, dog. Like and for to add just a little bit more to that for the listeners out there, man. You like you say, you've been in the Marine Corps 9 years. Seasoned staff non-commissioned officer, E6 at the time, and I saw a lot of bullshit. You know, uh, that first cycle or two. When I got there, I felt like I was kicking it. I felt like I was, man. I'm giving everything I got, and some of these cats telling me that ain't it. But just like I know, Ray Rob, as you continue to get your feet wet and establish your dominance there, by the time you became senior drill instructor staff sergeant Ray Rob, you could look back at some of them same individuals that was telling you what you wasn't, and dog, you run circles around them clowns. And I knew standing there that night, I seen it, bro. Like, and that's across the whole island. That ain't just our company. Like I knew, cause come on, Ray, we both experienced it. We know who's coming out of school. We know who's who in the zoo type thing. And across the island, with me coming off, that cycle before, I knew, like, bruh, uh, I want to see what these new cats is bringing to the table, because it's always gonna be that one, bruh, and you was that one. And like I say, hey, shout out to all of our brothers out there, but you was that one, bruh. And I say that wholeheartedly. Some cats wasn't that one. They just wasn't that one, but you was, and I appreciate you reminding me of that, man, because that's the light bulb lesson, man. Uh, and just everything you've done throughout, from that particular moment standing there that night, Ray, all the way up, man. You've always been there for me, bro. If I call you 2 weeks from now, hey Ray, bro, something happening here in Georgia, bro, I need you. I know you're gonna be there. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you didn't go back up in there and do what we prone to do. Like you said, bro. It's easy to go up in there and next thing you know, bro, hey, your career it's a wrap. So
Yeah.
I'm glad, man. It was that timing, man, in that right season. But I'd seen you. Like I said, I reiterate again. I seen you, bro. Just that presence. Some cats are natural leaders, dog, and you are that. It may take a little bit of time in that new environment to adapt. but I already knew. I said, man, that cat gonna run this company, bro. Like it ain't nobody on this island gonna be able to touch that cat, bro. When it's all said and done. And I guarantee you, if I bring 50 of your recruits on this thing on platform one by one and ask them, they will say, yes, we had the best hat on that island. And I appreciate you, bro. I love you, man. Well, look, hey, for everybody out there, man, uh, any parting words before we get out of here, Ray? The floor is yours, bro.
Hey, the only thing I would say out there, man, is to continue to seek in yourself. Seek yourself. You know what I'm saying? Seek out what's best for you. Seek out who you are, what you want to do, and also self accountability, man. That's been the biggest things for me in life. Going, getting out of the Marine Corps and just having to know that I have to hold myself accountable, and I have to know that everything starts and ends with me.
That's
So
right.
that has helped me get through a lot of adjustments in life, things that I've had to get through. Just holding myself accountable first and foremost, and then finding out the best way to proceed forward after. So
Yeah, that's real. Hey, man, we love y'all out there, man. And shout out to your kids, Ray, your family,
yes, sir.
everybody down in Louisiana, and stretched out wherever you are, man. Special individual right here, man. And I pray that something that was said today, that the people out there checking us out, man, you could extract something from it. Keep leading, keep grinding. As my partner just said, man, it starts with you. Everything internal to you, man, and how you extract that back out. That's what this platform's all about. Shining our light. What is light? Love, intellect, greatness, health, and truth. And if you operate within those five, bro, you can't go wrong. And with that, man, we love y'all. And we say peace out. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Love, Doc.